Next of all, we're going to drill down into the context list. And basically, we would review this at least annually. If not, especially when you start off, you might want to have a look at this quarterly. So let's add a new item, and what we'll do, we'll scroll down the issue sources, and we might add one. We might add one under environmental. You should work through all of these, and if they're not important for your business, then mark it off. You need to make sure you've added each of these three, and if you're going for certification for quality, then you need to make sure you've got one at least in under here, one under health and safety, and one under environmental. So I'm going to add an environmental one. It automatically is coming up with today's date. We need to decide then, is it a requirement? Is it part of a customer requirement? Is it an opportunity, or is it a threat? So this is straight from the standard. We might say this one's a threat. And the issue in this case, or the requirement, the issue in this case, we're going to put flooding, damage to roads, unable to access some sites to complete work. So what are we going to do to manage this? We might decide to set up some bases. We might decide to reschedule that work. We might decide to come up with a plan about a map of where our employees live and how we can better access those sites if we need to. If it's a programmed maintenance thing, we might decide to go there a week later or something in that vicinity. So we decide, are we trying to get improvement? Are we trying to minimize risks? Are we just making sure we deliver on what we're supposed to deliver on in terms of what our client needs? Develop a map service we might call the affected clients and check their preferences for rescheduling. Just an example. We meet all service requirements. So once we've added these items, keep going back to your list, and I would normally work through adding your items first and then coming up with your actions second. So we might have one here in terms of health and safety. We might be our issue might be too many incidents. Our plan might be to reduce the cost and number incidents. And this might be reduce undesirable effects. We might be reviewing the top 3 frequent incident areas and come up with a plan for each. All of these items are very specific for each particular business, but work through all of these. If we identify it's a condition for consideration, we don't need to do any more with it for that. It might be something that comes up in the future. For example, one that I see quite often with my clients is the moving to solar and battery operated equipment. Some battery operated equipment is awesome. Some battery operated equipment is not quite there yet. And the whole process of how we're going to manage that battery operated equipment and charging it is not there yet. So you might put it in there to move to battery operated equipment. You might put it as a condition for consideration for the moment. I have some clients the same thing with EV vehicles. They're not quite suitable for them yet, but they're definitely something they want to keep on the radar. Hope that helps you to get your context identified. We'll then move on to the next section and have a look how we expand on this further.